In today's video, I'm going to be discussing $7,000 in exchange for Social Security benefits. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Now, first off, let me ask you a quick question. Would you take $7,000 in exchange for Social Security benefits? I'm not sure about that. That does not sound all that appealing or all that enticing. However, I have another question for you. Would you take $1 million in exchange for Social Security benefits? I'm not sure about you, but that one gets my attention. That one gets me excited, and now I want to learn more, right? Well, believe it or not, this is an idea that is out there right now and something that is being discussed between lawmakers, as this is potentially a road forward for Social Security beneficiaries. Yep, that's what I'm going to talk about here in the video. Seems a little bit interesting, but I'll give you all the details and everything you need to know about this, because that's exactly what they are talking about. Essentially $1 million in exchange for Social Security benefits. Again, got my attention. Let's get into it and talk through the details. First off, before we do, thanks for joining me. If you have not done so yet, make sure to do yourself a huge favor. Subscribe down below. There's the big subscribe button right down below the video. Make sure to hit that so you don't miss any videos going forward. It's a very busy time right now. I've said this for a while now. 2024 is all about you, the low income and fixed income, as well as a lot of different proposals out there, bills, packages, ideas, concepts, all kinds of things right now to change and reform Social Security. There's a lot of different changes on the table right now. A lot of things are happening very fast. I'm doing all the research, breaking it down into these short videos to help you out in any way that I can, as well as advocating on your behalf every single day. So again, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate all of you here in this community. We've got to stick together right now. It's a rough time out there, and I'm here for you in any way that I can be. All right, thank you so much. Please subscribe down below, and let's get into it and talk through the details, which, by the way, I would love to hear your feedback down below in the comment section. If you're interested in sharing, not required, but if you'd like to, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this as I share with you the details about this, because this is an interesting one, and to be honest with you, I don't know about this. It seems a little bit compelling. I'm not sure if this is the answer, but it is just another one that's out there, okay? Which, by the way, if you've been watching the videos on the channel for a while now, you know that there are tons and tons and tons of proposals out there, ideas, concepts, all kinds of things to reform Social Security. Tons of them, seriously. I haven't even shared with you all of them that I've come across, but there's a lot of them out there, and this is another one, okay? Now, this is an interesting approach, but let me share with you what they're talking about now, okay? So here's what they want to do. They basically want to allocate $7,000 per person, and then basically turn that $7,000 into $1 million. Now, how? Is it a magic trick? Put it into a hat and flip it on over and pull out a rabbit? Well, in this case, it wouldn't be a rabbit. It'd be a wads and wads of cash, right? Sounds awesome. I wish I had that magic hat, but I don't, so I guess we'll just have to sit here and, continue waiting. So anyway, here's what happens, okay? This is how they would want to implement this whole thing. Now, again, just stick with me on this, because I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on this whole thing. So here's what they're talking about. Obviously, we have this Social Security insolvency issue, right? Social Security has run out of money. That's just the easy way to say it. Social Security is going to be broke in about 9 or so years, give or take a little bit, as in the trust fund will be completely empty. In other words, lawmakers are coming up with all kinds of ideas to figure out a solution for that so that we don't have this insolvency issue, okay? So here's what they're talking about. They want to go forward and say, okay, let's basically eliminate Social Security going forward for new babies, okay? I know, it sounds weird, okay? But just hear me out on this. This is what they're talking about, okay? So basically what they're saying going forward is that rather than basically, giving somebody the eligibility to claim Social Security, they're saying for every new baby that is born, we basically give this kid, this new baby, right, fresh new baby, give it $7,000. Now, this would be basically $7,000 that they allocate toward this baby, and then they invest it into the stock market, into index funds, okay? So they invest the $7,000 index funds, and they reinvest any dividends, things like this, and they continue to allocate that money into these index funds for basically 65 years, okay? So the baby's born, and for 65 years, this $7,000 continues to grow in the stock market, and any dividends or any distributions, something like that, is reinvested into this index fund, okay? You follow all this, okay? So then 65 years later, so now that baby is now 65, okay? Not a baby anymore, but 65 years later, according to the math on this and according to their statistics, they say that that $7,000 should have turned into $1 million of basically money that has become available because of appreciation and reinvestment into this index fund of the stock market, okay? So $7,000 over 65 years, according to their math, would be $1 million. not bad. That's not a bad return, right? I would say that's a pretty good return. However, what's the problem with that? You have to wait 65 years to get it. Yeah, exactly, right? So that's the whole idea behind this, is basically rather than having this person eligible for Social Security, now they have $1 million to help them through their retirement. That's the whole idea behind this. Now, would this person still be eligible for Social Security? The idea would be no. The idea behind this would basically be that no, these new babies getting this $7,000 and invested in the stock market, ballooning and growing up to $1 million by the time they turn 65 would no longer need to be reliant on Social Security, so that this would basically eliminate their eligibility for it because, it wouldn't really be a thing anymore, right? So that is the whole idea behind this. Now, not a bad concept. However, here's the problem that I have to say about this, okay? Now, number one is, what's the feasibility of this, okay? Like, is this really going to happen? If they put $7,000 in there, would it really turn into $1 million over 65 years? That's just, a guess. We can basically look back at the stock market and say, well, look, over the last 65 years, based on the returns and all this stuff like this, we could see that turn into $1 million in 65 years' time. True, maybe we could, but at the same time, is it realistic for that to happen? What if it's only $400,000? Now what, right? Now we've got a major problem for that person, okay, who's maybe going to be reliant on $1 million, okay? Now here's another problem as well. Let's just think about it realistically for just a second here. Let's look at this objectively for a minute, okay? Let's just rewind 65 years. Was the value of $1 65 years ago the same as what it is today? The answer is no, not even close. In fact, the United States dollar has lost about 97% of its value just in the last roughly 55 years, okay? So not a chance, okay? So in 65 years' time, the United States dollar, I'm going to tell you this much for first off, it's not going to be a thing. The United States dollar will not exist in 65 years from now. It's just not happening. We're going to have a digital currency probably in the next 5, 7, 10 years. It's not going to be that much longer until we have a fully 100% digital currency, okay? The dollar that we carry around, the little green thing, that's going to be completely obsolete before long. It's not going to be that much longer until that is not even a thing anymore. It's all digital, okay? Whether we like it or not, it's going to happen. So that's number one, is first off, the purchasing power of that dollar. Is it going to be the same? No, not even close, okay? That $3 loaf of bread you're buying today is going to be like $17 by then. Probably more than that, realistically, $25, something like that, okay? It's going to be very, very expensive, but relative to what money is worth then, it's all going to be relative, right? Next, think of it this way as well. Do you think the tax rate on all this money is going to be the same in 65 years from today? Not even close, okay? Taxes only go one way. They only go up. Do they continue going up? They sure do. Do they ever go down? Pretty much not, right? For the most part, taxes are a one-way street. They keep going up, and they don't really come back down, along with all the others, fees and surcharges and stuff like that, okay? So that $1 million, yeah, maybe this person would be sitting on a $1 million, potential retirement account at that point, but my big question would be this much. Okay, they might be sitting on $1 million, but how much will they have to peel off and give to the IRS and the states and things like this for that $1 million? Realistically, based on the trajectory of this, it'd probably be somewhere around 50 to 60%. I would not be shocked one bit. So now this person has $1 million. Now they're sitting with, say, maybe $500,000 to $400,000 instead, okay? Don't get me wrong. That's still a ton of money. I think we'd all be very, very happy with $500,000 or $400,000. But if you're paying $27 for a gallon of milk and $13 for 6 eggs and $29 for a loaf of bread and $68 for a haircut and $26 for a gallon of gas, you know my point, and $200,000 for a basic car, you get my point here, okay? Inflation is going to continue to eat all of our money alive, and it's going to erode the purchasing power of our money. So even though it looks like, wow, that's a lot of money, you're right, it is a lot of money when we look at it today, but it's not that much money when we think about what that's going to be worth in 65 years. Does that make sense? Right? So think of it this way. For those of you that were around, say, I don't know, back in 1970 or 65 or 1960, things like this, if you had $20 then, think of what $20 got you 50, 60 years ago. It got you a ton of stuff, right? Think of it this way, okay? I'm just going to say this much, okay? I shouldn't even say this, but I just remember this. When I was a kid, I remember going out to eat with my parents. Okay, so it's my parents, my brother, and me, the four of us. I remember going to restaurants, and for the four of us to eat something, it was $20. Remember that? Like, I don't know, 35 years ago, okay, it was like 20 bucks to go out and just get like a normal dinner for 4 people. Today, good luck getting a dinner for 4 people for less than, I don't know, $100. Good luck on that one. It's not going to happen. You could go to the most basic place in the world. It's probably going to be $100 by the time you get the bill for all the food, the drinks, the surcharges. Oh, the included gratuities as well. Don't forget about that one. The surcharges, all the fees, the busing fees, the disposals, and all the other taxes and stuff like that. And there you sit. Oh, by the way, you got a tip on there as well, right? Throw that on there as well. And now you're sitting at $100 easy without a problem, right? So anyway, this one I want to throw out there for you quickly, but they are talking about this, and interesting concept. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if this would be the best approach going forward, but something they're talking about as a potential solution to make sure that Social Security does not go insolvent and run out of money for all these lower, younger generations, things like this. So anyway, so what I want to share with you really quickly, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you like this, or do you think this is a total garbage plan out there? I don't know. I'd like to hear your comments. So anyway, if you have not done so yet, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on my social media. And as always, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those in the video library or the ones I've hand selected for you down below in the description or at the top of the comment section, or those that you see on your screen now. Check out any of those videos there. And until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you again later in the